What is up, everyone? Welcome to today's session. This is your host, Hindu Pips, on Midnight Bags, where we come on, analyze the markets, see if we can catch some live trade ideas, and just learn together. As a reminder, none of what that is which spoken on the stream is financial advice. There's no financial advice given here. And let's get started. So, as always, we always look at the Forex calendar for the week, seeing what we have in the markets. Today was the main focus day. We had a CPI. After this, tomorrow we have PPI, and that's pretty much it. Thursday we get some volatility. The new Fed chair, I believe, is on Wednesday. This will more than likely have some volatility. This is going to be my first time coming across this, so I'll be interested to see what happens around this time. Just be careful of your positions, maybe manage a little bit more conservatively. You never know what type of manipulation the market might have. So we'll see how things go with that. Um, uh, since we're on the DXY, we'll just stay on here for a quick second. I know we normally start with gold, but we'll definitely look at the dollar first this time. It's been holding up in the same zone that we spoke of before. What I can see, as long as everything sticks, is potentially one more stab down and then us continue higher. So seeing something like this to take out this high over here and continue filling in the gap. So this is what I have on DXY. Now transitioning over to gold. Let me just make sure I set alert here. All right, there we go. So it's in a interesting spot. We're kind of stuck in this range right now. So personally, I want to see gold do some type of breakout at this point. So we got these two zones inside of the current larger zone. So personally, I'm just gonna look for price to break and close above one of these levels because I don't want to get caught in this chop and then be on the wrong side, and that just makes managing difficult. Whenever you're kind of uncertain, just have your zones marked out and then go from there. And just have alerts. Like there's no reason for us to try to force something inside of here and be caught in this range versus take the trade that's more probable. I've always spoken about this. Quality over quantity and probability first. And that ties into making sure that sometimes it's more important to sit on your hands versus expose yourself to more risk that's unnecessary, basically. So personally with gold, you need a breakout from one of these levels. It's going to be tough to play within this zone. Ultimately, I do want to see gold go higher, especially back up to 47.40. But we'll see. It's in an interesting range. Silver, same idea, more or less. We're about to take out this liquidity here. And ultimately, I can definitely see this go higher. But I'm just curious if we get one more pullback back into this zone. I don't like the fact that we do maintain these lows here. See that getting taken out. So we'll see if we can break down one more time and continue higher, looking to target back to 92, 94, possibly even 105s. So this is the next potential zone I'm looking at for silver. Playing off of 4 hour, one more touch up, and then let's continue higher. So got alerts set on that, and we'll go from there. Moving on to indices, I can go over what I played personally today. Uh, this one I had marked up. I saw it beforehand when CPI came out. I just was not on the screen when this ended up playing out, but this was basically a 30-second trap candle play. Came into here, held, and ran. So I didn't take this personally. I'll show you the ones I did take, but I'm only showing this because of the whole idea of the trap candle to continue further up. You do have equal highs that were made right here. So there's your like easy liquidity target and rebalance. Honestly, like we took out multiple highs, so that's how you could have played that. The ones I did take, because at this point I was at work. So let me go back to the minutes. Where is this time frame? Started work at 8, so yeah, personally I was able to catch. I believe it was this little move down here. Took this down. It made another low, and then when I went to my larger time frame target, I ended up taking a buy off of. See on my top step one, it was like right around here where this trap candle's at. So I ended up taking buys from here, which let's do this to show you. Making sure it's still the same feed. Yeah, so I actually did get into these and then took my little profit right up inside of here. Almost got hit out when this pulled back because I had scaled into positions and I took out here. So I took off of the hourly trap candle play and I was done for the day. But definitely worth studying. I think today's price action was very easy to read. Even if you look inside of this section, there was, I believe, a 3 minute, oh yeah, 2 minute trap candle. Sorry, was it on the 3 minute as well? Yeah, 3 minute. Both of them had it. So you could have played the continuation knowing that the overall bias was downside because if you zoom out, look what we have to the left, imbalance. It's a pretty straightforward price action to play. Buys were there. This was a solid move, but the overall trend, and you can see volume, was for shorts. Even as we tried continue up right here, look at the volume and how it's decreasing even though price is trying to go higher. This was to take out previous people that were in sells and close out their positions to make the actual move back down. So pretty straightforward. I think this was one of those days where price action for sells was very easy to read. And you had your liquidity pockets down here as well for further to take price down. Overall, where NAS is currently, let me just reset the chart. I still want to see 30,000 before we get a full sell-off. Trying to see if we have any potential areas for buys. I don't really like where it's at right now, to be honest, because I don't think we're really going to get that crazy of a pullback unless some volatility happens with the Fed chair. Yeah, I'm personally I'm uncertain where NAS is at, and I'm okay with that because I don't have clear evidence on what I want to do. I'll definitely keep this area in mind for some scalps off of like the 150, 140 and seeing where I can take it. But personally, I need something more obvious and clear because this will definitely like it has the momentum and it's close enough to come take out these highs here. After that, if we blow past this high at 29,280, we're definitely coming for 29,320. It just makes sense from a efficient point of view. So this is one area I'll keep in mind. Like always, whenever I am trading indices, which is primarily in the morning, I'm going to reevaluate this zone in case London session does something else and invalidates my area. But that this is a potential chance to continue up off of this 30-minute candle. So I should reset some alerts and then we'll go from there. Let's see if US 30 has anything cleaner. I mean, we've got an easy exit target here. We've got equal highs, so this price is definitely gonna run through. Now, do we just stick where we're at and then go? Because US 30 has more room to drop and rebalance a bit. Because we've also got this liquidity right here. And I think we need, personally, I think we need more data to figure out what indices want to do. Because there's obvious areas to target. It's just a matter of where we get positioned in. Do we get the buys first to take all this out, or this just takes that everything out and goes up from where it's at right now? Waiting on my hands. I wouldn't be surprised S&P is the same. So S&P is a lot closer to breaking another set of all-time highs, which I want to make sure I set alert. Because if this does, then that would give me direction on how I'm going to approach the other indices. For example, just to clarify more, if S&P clears all-time highs and Nasdaq and US 30 are lagging a bit, then I can try to position myself and quick buys to scalp up to clear at the all-time highs, basically. So that's how I'm going to approach it, taking the pair that's the lagger in that case, in regards to that situation. Otherwise, we really got to wait. Just things just been chopping for a bit. Oil, man, I'm still gutted. We didn't get up to our zone. I'm still going to hold on to the zone. I do see oil coming back up. Let's see if we have any potential opportunities to re-enter. Is there no wick on this candle? Okay, one second. I would like to see if we can get oil come back down anywhere inside of this zone to continue higher. Seeing something like this and then come further up, which is gonna suck because I live in California and gas is over $6 now. But this would make sense in terms of like what's going on in the world basically and how oil's been pushing up like crazy. So we'll see what happens there. But this is what I have for it. Now, to save time and be more efficient, I marked up a couple of the currency pairs before starting this call. Still the same bias for the dollar is want to see one more quick move down, take out anyone positioned here, and then look for bias. Ultimately, we want dollar up and other currencies that are going against it to go down. And this lines up with what we were talking about for the DXY for peso. Similar idea with the Swiss here. Want to see us one more stab down and then us continue further up. NZD Chef, first zone is still playing out well. This is the second zone off of a 4-hour trap candle. I want to see this get respected inside of here and then us continue higher. Ultimately, to take out these equal highs and fill in this imbalance over here. Pretty straightforward. If you've been hopping on my sessions, you know how I analyze. I love my trap candles. Love targeting inefficient price action. Like we have our set ways to enter and exit the market. And if it's not there, then we don't worry about it. NZD USD, this is interesting because I would still like to hope for this area. But if it doesn't, then I would. So basically, if this zone doesn't come back and trigger in, we still have the alert. You can split up your risk in case it wants to respect here and continue higher. So totally up to you how you want to play it. Exit targets are still here, um, but we'll go from there and reevaluate. But this is what I have. I more personally like this area down here because we want the dollar to go up, and in this case, NZD would have to come down. So honestly, I'm okay with missing this first idea. The second idea is more probable for sure. We have the inefficient price action, and it would line up with our bias. So I'm gonna stick with this. NZD similar still bias as last time. I want to see the sweep and then wait for break and close below this level before we actually short off. Moving on to GBP NZD. This one, I'm not giving it as a confirmed idea, only because I believe last week when I spoke about this, I said that if we get the pullback, then the exit makes sense because we got the imbalance to fill. It didn't pull back, but it hit the exit target. So I still think this is a potential chance. I just want to see where the market is at in relation to the other GP pairs when price does get here. And that's how I'm approaching it because I would have loved the pullback first because it's an obvious exit, but we didn't get that. So this will be pending until we see what happens when price is over here. GB Swiss, same idea from last time we hopped on. This is already in the zone. Hopefully we start seeing a further shift up. It lines up with the bias of coming all the way back up to here, take out these highs and rebalance everything that's to the left here. So if you haven't positioned in, I still think this is worth attempting. This is going to be a solid swing. Going to take a while, but you're looking at a basically almost 800 pip swing. Moving on from here, GP AUD, we spoke about this last time. It is officially like it did tap into the area. We took out these lows, so it can still come a little bit deeper, but basically this is what I'm looking at to respect this area and then continue higher. Lines up with what we want with the other GP pairs. So given that I'm wanting GP higher in this case, if this holds here, hold on, let me make sure something. That's just solid. If you get a price pullback here, you can have a decent R&R to catch the bias to this potential sell zone. I even hold this further because if the other GBP pairs are breaking past the current zones, like when price is in here, it gives you more conviction to continue holding buys versus attempt to sells. It's kind of the whole idea that I just spoke about with the indices where you take the lagger essentially. Yeah, so I think this is solid. Let's see if there's a smaller time frame entry so we can refine. No, like this exact, like literally, so the whole zone's gonna be this. So seeing this come into here and then going higher makes sense to me. GBP USD is the only one that I think we get a short term push up ideally before we see a crash down. Because in regards to it being correlated with the dollar, we want dollar up, but we want a quick drop down with the DXY first. So like right into here. And that analysis pairs up in regards to wanting GBP to get a quick push up while dollar comes down, so we can come rebalance the price action inside of here, and then take a stab at shorting up in here inside this box to take it down all the way to this imbalance first, and then if we zoom out, this maybe is a potential swing to come all the way down here, depending on how price looks, but this is the first obvious exit. After that, you could have a runner if you want. Well, we'll have to see what price does from there. There we go. Moving on to Euro NZD. Two zones, we're still waiting on these, but one, two, in case price wants to come further up, you have this possibility. I would keep in mind where everything else is at in relation to Euro. Similar concepts because we could see some short-term buys and then sell off to come lower because we have the imbalance here. So this one, you're gonna have to play by price in regards to once it does get into the zone to see if it makes sense. Because in itself, it does make sense to continue shorting down a bit, but this one is definitely going to be a more of a wait and see. Odd Swiss, this looks solid. If it gives another pullback, that would be awesome. Then you're looking at just same potential zone or just respecting inside of here to continue higher into the larger time frame zone. The idea from last time is still working out. As far as from a technical point of view, I still want to see this come back down to 7,800. Let's see. We are inside a 2 hour candle, so some potential shorts if it holds in terms of structure from here coming down. So this is something I'll keep an eye on. One target is here. NTDUSD. Yeah, yeah, I got you, bro. Appreciate you. 1 second. But yeah, I want to see this, see if this area gets respected for a quick sell down. NTDUSD. I want to see the short down. We might get a small push up first because I want dollar to drop before we continue up. But I want to see the first buying opportunity be inside of this area. And if we can find some shorts, I'll look to short. But right now, I just need to let price break out of this consolidation phase here. But it would make sense to potentially attempt inside of here because this is all pretty balanced. But we'll have to see what the dollar is doing. 4 hour chart. Oh, we're probably talking about this. Um, hold up. The reason, if this is the same 4 hour candle you're talking about, the reason I would not take this, and this is just me personally because I've taken too many L's whenever I've missed this, is the liquidity resting right below the trap candle. It looks cool, but when we break it down further, you could probably still get some sort of reaction. It's all about probabilities at the end of the day in risk management. But personally, from my data, whenever I've tried to take a trap candle with liquidity resting below it, price usually blows past my trap candle and takes out the liquidity. You can still get a potential reaction because we have seen examples where the trap candle gets run through, but the candle is still closed inside that zone, and then structure shows you that you have the potential to attempt again. It just for me, this becomes low probability because of the fact that we have liquidity resting right below this area. Good point, and then it was a good way to dissect it down. I hope that makes sense. It could still get respected, who knows? It's just the probability kind of gets a lot lower for me. And I definitely would not attempt inside of this because at that point, this is just, for me, I describe this as like the inner liquidity. Like this is going to get swept because we have a larger area of interest to attack. Because the market has motive to just push past this. And look what we have here too. Another set of liquidity pockets. So what's cool is we have areas that we can target for shorts, 100%. Now it's just a matter of does this pop up one more time and then start breaking down, or does this just straight break down? So you gotta be patient on that. This will be a key level for price. If price continues to close below this level, then you have shorts easily. Gotcha, man. Oil, we covered that. Natural gas. Got this little trend line going here. Snapchat is giving the pullback. We've uh, we've been in this for a good minute already. Back down in here. I can see this coming back to $5 too, which is completely fine. And then still hoping to target $8, $9, and go from there. But this did give us a pullback, so if you're not in, definitely a good idea to get in. I was keeping an eye on this. Yeah, I still got alerts for this. I want to see if we can get another drop down for Weeble so I can get in. Paramount's another one. This one, it's holding up good. Okay, maybe one more push up this larger zone, and then I'll look for some shorts if I can find it. Personally, that's what I'm looking at. Um, really just being patient with gold because this could get respected in short down. It's stuck in between this zone right here, and then you have the larger time frame zone. So I'd rather just sit on my hands and let price do its thing because the last thing you want to do, and I've experienced this too much, is put yourself in this zone and get trapped for a good minute because essentially it's just a larger consolidation zone. And if you don't have like the top or the bottom, makes it a little bit harder to play. Yeah, you could get some scalps for sure, uh, but you just have to be more aggressive in your management for sure. Indices, like I said, this zone will really vary depending on how things are. Um, if S&P breaks above its all-time high first, or Dow does, then we're just going to take the lagger. This is not a confirmed idea, but this is just something if I can get a quick scalp and volume is there to catch the buys, I will. I don't like this, so I'm gonna mark this out here personally. If that gets cleared, then if I get a buy, cool. This did sweep, so we might get some shorts where Nasdaq is currently. Some short-term shorts. I actually like this. Okay, going into London session, first I'm gonna wait for the London volume. But if we continue to respect, if we respect this area, if we get like one more pop up, especially into the 3000s and 310s, and it gives us a shorting opportunity, I'll look for that. Because I think we're still gonna get one more push up before London Open officially, and then I might just target this area for the shorts. Just scenario based. Everything really will depend on how things roll out. And personally, I'm not going to try to force anything, because I rather have more evidence to give me more confluence before attempting anything inside the market. Is there anything else you guys want me to look at, or anything that you have been working on, or need some guidance on that I can share my experience and then we can learn from each other? And just a reminder, none of what has been discussed here is financial advice. Just hopping on, learning together, seeing if we catch anything. If you're a scalper, you can definitely catch gold off of its $5, $10 levels. If you want to scalp inside the zone, just obviously do what your trading plan says, but just be cautious that you are inside the zone, and maybe when you're playing inside the zone, you potentially reduce risk so you don't expose unnecessary capital to a potentially lower quality setup if you're still willing to attempt. We got this 2 hour. If it came low enough to respect this level, like you have like this potential scalp if we do want to continue higher. So just food for thought. I'm gonna send you a chart on USDK. Yeah, go ahead. I'll I see your message right now. 1 second. For the 4 hour, let's take a look. Why does your 4 hour look a little different? Oh no, there we go. Okay, I see what we're looking at. Never mind. Trying to look at your numbers. 1.36772. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like I can see that entry that you're talking about. But doesn't your guys' strategy say that the stop would be down here? No, we definitely trade differently, but I can see this potentially, but I believe the stop would technically be down here. Let me hold it. Let me open up YouTube again. But I like the idea of dollar higher for sure. But I think if you're gonna attempt that, then the stop is technically down here, just in case it wants to poke lower to rebalance. We got one, and depending on how much dollar does pull back, if it gets the pullback, so you have this potential and then even one lower. Um, but I definitely like the buys because you have literally all this to target. You're looking at literally all this for just infrastructure. Okay, yeah. So if your trading strategy according to J7 says that's how it's placed, then definitely go for it. It'd be cool to see if this hourly trap candle gets respected here, and then your zone inside of here gets respected. But I think it's solid. If price does something crazy with the news we have for this week, then we do have the 4 hour trap candle in case it wants to give a little bit of a deeper pullback. But yeah, no, I like it. Overall dollar up. It's just, yeah, for me personally, I have two zones, but yeah, your zone I can see and make sense to work out. And peso, I don't know if you're on for this, but what's up, D? You're good. We're almost done too, but I'll cover gold for you real quick too in a second. Let's wait for you for peso. I still see this as a probability. I think we get one more push down, clear out this liquidity here, and then start building structure to go up, and it lines up with what we want for DXY. Get one last push down here, and then us continue further up. Clear areas to target, obvious area, and then even potentially further up depending on how things are going. Yeah, definitely keep me updated. D for gold. I was telling the squad here. Personally, I don't like that we're okay. So we have this larger zone here for sure. Like between here and here, where price is trapped in. Get rid of this. So I want to see prices break out. Either we break and close above 47.26, 25 area, or we break and close below this 46.88. So personally, I just want to, I have alert set, see what happens, because I don't want to get caught in this chop. For me, there's too many possibilities right now that don't give me a quality setup. If I find a tight R&R, then potentially, but personally, I'm gonna reduce risk if I'm gonna play inside this zone. I don't know if you have anything different, because yeah, I don't like this area that it's stuck in. Like I want to see a break. Indices too. I'm in an indecisive mood on indices because we could just continue pushing up and don't get the pullback. So I really have to see what tomorrow morning does, personally. Silver, I would love a deep pullback into here. We'll see if it gives it. Otherwise, I could just continue higher up into back to 100, 105. But I think that's pretty much it for me, guys. We did have this potential oil zone here. Oil drop back into here. Respect it. Continue higher. Really don't want this personally, uh, in terms of having to pay for gas, but it would make sense for me. But yeah, as always, appreciate everyone hopping on. Just a reminder, none of what I went over is financial advice. We just hop on, see if we can catch a move, share an analysis, and just continue growing as a team. If you're not part of the Powerhouse family, feel free to send us a message. We are on Instagram. Obviously, you're watching on YouTube. And if you're liking the free content that you're getting from the in-house Powerhouse team, feel free to shoot us a message and we'll get connected and get you part of the squad. Take care, everyone.